Hey buddies, SomeNutzGuy here. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. In this video, we are going to be teaching you all about the best late game baubles. The best of the best baubles broski that you can get in the end game. We're going to go over a couple of different variations, a couple of different options, a couple of different builds, depending on what you have available or what you want to be doing. But many of these are going to be pretty much exactly the same. So, what do we got? We have this right here. Let's start from the top. Wrath Pendant. Wrath Pendant is awesome. Really, really good. Fantastic. However, you can only get this by defeating Amalgalich. So if you're not at that absolute end game point of defeating Amalgalich, you're not going to be able to have the Wrath Pendant. If you are, however, it is the best necklace that you can wear. It's absolutely awesome. Now, alternatively to that, there's the Stone of the Sea, which I know a lot of you guys really enjoy using, but I personally don't use it myself. I would rather go for one of the Sin Pendants. So I think personally I'd probably go for the Pride Pendant, although the Gluttony Pendant is also quite good. Either way, these are both going to be giving you the same buff in terms of the sinful buff as this one. However, the Wrath Pendant gives you the innate +2 damage on top of that as well. So I do quite like these pendants. Stone of the Sea is also a good choice. Dragon's Eye, it's pretty much always going to be an option. It's pretty much always going to be the one you go for. Immunity to lava, immunity to heat, just being able to see particular gems and resources through walls, night vision. It's just, there's no reason not to have this. Now, the Shield of Honor is a great addition. I really like the Shield of Honor. Explosion damage resistance, which is nice. However, it also gives you resistance. So this will give you resistance level 1, which would stack with resistance rings if you wanted to go that way. In terms of rings, this is where things get a little bit more variable. You have a little bit more options. So your Shield of Honor gives you resistance 1. You could just go 2 additional resistance rings and get yourself resistance 3 on a permanent basis. That's great. That's a good idea. There's also the Potion Ring and Regeneration. These are kind of like the light end game options. They're really, really good. They're great. They're fantastic. You can pick these up. If you're lucky, you can pick these up sort of earlier mid game, but they're still valuable through to the end game as well. However, I think because you can increase your buffs with Wildberry Wine and the duration with regular wine, your resistance 1 from the Shield of Honor, when buffed up, will go to a max resistance level through wine. Or if you ate a battle burrito, that actually gives you more resistance. So you could even consider the fact that you might be able to swap this out. And the same rule applies for a lot of these things when it comes to using wine and buffing up with battle burritos and stuff. So you might want to have one build, which is your general day-to-day walk-around build, which you might stack your resistance rings and your Shield of Honor. But you might have a different build, which is, say, your DPS build, when you know you're going to go into fight bosses and you're going to be buffing up and using wine, etc. Because there's no point in stacking 3 things that give you resistance if you can get resistance 3 from one thing through wine. That's my point. And that's where you might use something like a Poison Stone and a Wither Ring instead. If you have Envenomed and Viper on your weapon, Envenomed giving both Poison and Wither, Viper increasing your damage against people that are withered and poisoned, the Poison Stone increasing your damage further against poisoned enemies, and the Wither Ring giving you lifesteal against withered enemies, you could say perhaps swap these out like this. If you know that you're going to be buffing up with your battle burritos and your wine, you don't need to stack the resistances. You don't need to stack the regeneration. Battle burrito gives it to you all, gives it all to you, right? So this is when you consider things like the secret potion rings. If you haven't seen my video on secret rings, there are, I believe, 6 secret potion rings: health boost, iron skin, diamond skin, reach, and something else. True shot, magic focus, true shot and magic focus. I don't know how many I've listed now. But anyway, those are the rings that you're probably going to be wanting to use in the end game. So get rid of our Ring of Resistance, not worried about that too much. Oh, well, we'll probably put our Shield of Honor back on. Whatever the case may be, the Ring of Reach is the one that I like to use. Reach is invaluable. Reach is so strong. So the Potion Ring of Reach is usually what I use. The Potion Ring of Health Boost would also be good. Potion Ring of Diamond Skin is also good. Iron Skin, not so good, but still valuable. If you're going to be using your bow a lot, like you're going to be fighting a boss, which is primarily with a bow, say Amalgalich, where you don't want to get close because he has a one-shot ability, you might want to use the Ring of True Shot. So With your rings, there's actually quite a few options and ways to go with the way that you build. You know, with going with the the poison stone and the wither ring when you have envenomed on your weapon is really strong. One thing that's incredibly rare, but very, very nice to have is the Stone of Greater Inertia. So this gives you resistance to fall damage. By the time you get it, you probably don't care that much, but it also gives you knockback resistance, which you probably get from your Ankh Shield, so you probably don't care that much, but it's plus 100% movement speed and plus 100% jump height. And I believe this stacks with all your other sort of level up reloaded, increases sprint speed, etc., etc. So just with my level up reloaded skills capped and with this Greater Stone of Inertia, this is me walking, and this is me sprinting. And that's without like lightweight or agility on armor enchantments, because obviously I don't have any armor on at the moment. So yeah, you can go really, really fast with that. The Stone of Greater Inertia is a very, very, very rare drop from infernal mobs. Looting or advanced looting, I think, is the only thing that would increase the chances of getting it. There's nothing else that you can do to increase the chance of getting it. Just get lucky when finding infernal mobs. You could literally get this on day 1 on your first infernal mob. So it's really, really nice. The tool belt is something it's going to be probably your first or second bauble. But it's also probably going to be on your last, because it has a fairly unique category. You know, it's in the unique slot. There are some other baubles you can put in there, like these ones. Can you put that? That one has to go there. I think the Dragon's Eye's free moving. That one's free moving. Anyway, you don't need to use the tool belt if you don't want to. However, it is pretty nice and convenient to have. So it starts off with 2 additional bauble slots. 2 additional inventory slots. You have a hotkey that you can press to open it up, but you can upgrade it through belt pouches. You can upgrade this, put a tool belt and a belt pouch in an anvil. You can increase the number of spare slots. So if I pop this on and I hold R, you'll see all the different items that I have in my tool belt. I can hold up to 9, so it's a 9-in-1 item holder. You can put things like your medkits, water buckets, your summoning staffs, your canteens. I think there's other useful things that aren't just sort of tools and weapons you can put in there as well. I've just messaged Javaxi telling him he should let us put lockpicks in here. Would be really cool. I think it would be perfect. A lockpick goes in a tool belt. It would make total sense. Maybe even crafting stations and forges. Nah, that wouldn't make sense. It's a whole station, not a tool. Anyway, long story short, tool belt's really nice and useful, even at the end game. Obsidian Shield. Sorry, the Ankh Shield. Ankh Shield is one you're definitely going to want to get. I've done a video specifically on how to get this because it is so pog. But there's basically quite a long chain. Obsidian Shield and the Ankh Charm combined to make this. The Ankh Charm takes all these different things. That requires these. Yeah, there's a big chain to get there. I've made a whole video on that if you want to learn how to get that bauble. It's basically, it gives you immunity to pretty much everything. Grants partial resistance to fire. You don't need that because you got the Dragon's Eye. Immunity to knockback. Most negative status effects. So literally blind, poison, wither, nausea. Pretty much everything except the... Lost City, Fear, it's insanely good. Additionally, when you're drinking wine, if you get too drunk, you drink too much wine, you get inebriation 3 or above, you can start to get nausea, blindness, is really annoying. Having the Ankh Shield or anything that mitigates those negatives will make it so you can drink wine without any debuffs or any negatives whatsoever. This Ankh Shield can be used as an actual shield as well. It will give you the value, the bauble quality, and the value of this is that it's pretty much the only shield that can get bauble qualities. So it can be reforged with, so most shields will only have shield qualities, which are kind of really bad if you ask me. This is the only shield that can get bauble qualities, apart from maybe the Cobalt Shield as well, which isn't particularly great and is a requirement to craft this anyway. But long story short, this means that you can get even stronger by having a bauble quality instead of a shield quality on your shield. Now, it's only relevant when the shield is currently equipped. So if you say have a quiver, if you're wearing a quiver, when you switch to your bow, it puts arrows in your offhand, which would move your shield out of this. That means that every time you pull out your bow, you'll be moving this out of your inventory and you'll be losing the qualities from having it equipped. Just as long as this is equipped in that slot there, I mean, you don't even need a quiver because your bow probably has infinity at this point, and infinity in RLCraft does not need an arrow. In regular Minecraft, you need an arrow for infinity to work. In RLCraft, you don't. So if you have infinity, you don't need a quiver, and you won't have to worry about this. This will just stay in your slot, and you can just use it and gain the benefits from it. Finally, with regards to reforging, to get the most value out of these baubles, you have different resources for crafting or for reforging each one. Tool belt is obviously leather. The Ankh shield, as I just showed you, is with obsidian. Potion rings are with gold. Many of these other things are going to be either with spectral silt or with glowing ingots. Anything at all can be reforged with nether stars. Anything. So bear that in mind. So I believe the things like the Wrath Pendant, Wither Ring, I believe these ones are not. There we go. I'll just show you real quickly. So the Wrath Pendant and the Wither Ring, I believe, are Spectral Silt. Spectral Silt is pretty easy to get with a Disintegration Tablet. I talk about that more in the early game Baubles video if you don't know about how that works already. The Wither Ring, I believe, is also... No. So the Wither Ring is glowing ingots. Wither Ring is glowing ingots. Stone of Greater Inertia is glowing ingots. The Shield of Honor is glowing ingots. The Dragon's Eye is glowing ingots. So glowing ingots are used to reforge the majority of your endgame baubles. The Stone of Poison Stone, yeah, it's going to be glowing ingots only. Nether stars can be used for any of them, but glowing ingots is going to be the primary thing. So just bear in mind, you want to make sure you're grabbing silver, glowstone, and blaze powder. I think silver and blaze powder would probably be your bottlenecks for this. I always end up with loads of glowstone. And as long as you make sure you're just picking these up and not throwing away silver, you can have quite a bit of glowing ingots late game for your reforging. Wow, I plowed through that pretty darn quickly. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover, and I gave you guys lots of additional information. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments down below. Yeah, man, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. I go live on my Twitch channel pretty much every day except Monday and Friday I usually take for editing. I run an RLCraft 2.9 SMP server from my Twitch channel, so if you'd like to join us on that multiplayer server, you'd be welcome to do so. You just have to jump on the Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/SomeNutzGuy, earn 3,000 channel points, redeem the whitelist channel point redemption, and then you'll be welcome to join us. Alrighty, guys, hope you have an awesome rest of your day.